Have you ever noticed how some people in their 70s and 80s seem to radiate vitality, while others struggle with health issues that make them appear years beyond their actual age? I remember visiting my neighbor Dorothy last summer. At 78, she was tending her garden, bending with surprising flexibility to pull weeds and harvest tomatoes. "The secret's in what I stopped putting in my grocery cart," she told me with a wink when I commented on her energy. Dorothy had made a conscious decision 10 years earlier to eliminate certain foods from her diet, after her doctor pointed out some concerning changes in her blood work. The transformation didn't happen overnight, but gradually her joint pain diminished, her mind felt sharper, and her energy returned. Her story isn't unique. I've heard similar testimonials from countless seniors across the country who discovered that what they removed from their diet was just as important as what they added. Today I want to share with you some critical information about 7 common foods that could be silently accelerating your aging process. This isn't about vanity or looking younger. It's about protecting your cognitive function, maintaining your independence, and enjoying the quality of life you deserve in these golden years. The foods I'll discuss today aren't just contributing to wrinkles, they're potentially compromising your memory, joint health, cardiovascular system, and even your ability to fight off infections. By making informed choices about what you eat, you can potentially add years of active, healthy living to your life. As we age, our bodies become more vulnerable to inflammation and oxidative stress. Our metabolism changes, and we process certain foods differently than we did in our 40s or 50s. What you could eat without consequence in your younger years might now be triggering cascades of inflammatory responses in your body, affecting everything from your heart health to your brain function. The good news is that by identifying and eliminating these problematic foods, many people notice improvements in their health remarkably quickly, sometimes within just a few weeks. Let's start with one of the most insidious culprits in the American diet: processed foods with high amounts of added sugar. Mildred from Dayton, Ohio contacted me after watching one of my previous videos. At 72, she had been struggling with persistent fatigue and frequent infections. "I thought it was just part of getting older," she said. Mildred had a daily habit of enjoying packaged pastries with her morning coffee. She didn't think much of it. After all, she'd been eating them for decades. When she eliminated these sugary treats, replacing them with protein-rich breakfasts instead, she noticed a dramatic improvement in her energy levels within just 2 weeks. "I didn't realize how much those pastries were draining me," she admitted. What Mildred experienced wasn't coincidental. When we consume foods high in refined sugar, our blood glucose levels spike rapidly, triggering a cascade of insulin release. For seniors, this process is particularly problematic. Studies from the National Institute on Aging have shown that these blood sugar fluctuations can accelerate aging at the cellular level. The glycation process, where sugar molecules attach to proteins in your blood, creates something called advanced glycation end products, aptly abbreviated as AGEs. These AGEs cause tissue damage, contribute to wrinkle formation, and have been linked to cognitive decline. But it's not just the obvious sugary treats you need to watch for. Many seemingly healthy foods marketed to seniors contain hidden sugars. Those senior-friendly breakfast cereals, energy bars, and even some yogurts can contain alarming amounts of added sugar. Always check the nutrition label and be particularly wary of anything containing high fructose corn syrup, which is especially problematic for aging livers. Remember that the American Heart Association recommends women consume no more than 6 teaspoons, 25 grams, of added sugar daily, and men no more than 9 teaspoons, 36 grams. Most Americans consume more than double these amounts without realizing it. The second category of foods that accelerate aging might surprise you: certain vegetable oils. Harold from Scottsdale, Arizona, had been diligently following what he thought was a heart-healthy diet, cooking everything in corn and soybean oils. Despite his efforts, his inflammation markers remained stubbornly high, and his arthritis seemed to be worsening by the month. His doctor, who had recently attended a nutrition conference, suggested eliminating these oils from his diet. I was skeptical, Harold told me, But after switching to olive oil and avocado oil, the difference in my joint pain was remarkable. Within 3 months, his inflammation markers had decreased significantly, and he could once again enjoy his weekly golf game without pain medication. The science behind Harold's experience is compelling. Oils like corn, soybean, sunflower, and safflower contain high amounts of omega-6 fatty acids. While omega-6s are essential in small amounts, the typical American diet contains far too many of them relative to omega-3 fatty acids. This imbalance creates a pro-inflammatory state in the body. For seniors, whose immune systems already tend toward inflammatory responses, this additional burden can accelerate joint deterioration, contribute to cardiovascular issues, and even impact brain health. Studies published in the Journal of the American College of Nutrition have demonstrated that reducing omega-6 consumption while increasing omega-3s can significantly reduce inflammatory markers in older adults. Next time you're at the grocery store, take a careful look at the ingredients list on your salad dressings, mayonnaise, and processed foods. You'll likely find these inflammatory oils hiding everywhere. Instead, opt for extra virgin olive oil, avocado oil, or small amounts of butter from grass-fed cows. Your joints and heart will thank you for making this simple switch. Some seniors find it helpful to record their pain levels in a journal before making this change, then noting any improvements in the weeks that follow. It's a powerful way to see the direct impact of your dietary choices. The third food category that's particularly problematic for adults over 65 is processed meats. Walter, a 68-year-old retired teacher from Chicago, had been experiencing concerning digestive issues and unexplained fatigue. His daily lunch had included deli meat sandwiches for as long as he could remember. It was convenient and I didn't have to cook, he explained. When his daughter, a nurse, suggested eliminating processed meats from his diet, Walter was reluctant, but agreed to give it a try. Within a month, his digestive symptoms had improved dramatically, and his energy levels had rebounded. I had no idea those sandwich meats were causing so many problems, he said. Processed meats, including bacon, sausage, hot dogs, deli meats, and pepperoni, contain compounds called nitrates and nitrites that have been linked to increased inflammation and cellular damage. These preservatives help maintain color and prevent bacterial growth, but they convert to nitrosamines in the body, which are known carcinogens. The World Health Organization has classified processed meats as Group 1 carcinogens, placing them in the same category as tobacco smoking and asbestos in terms of their cancer-causing potential. For seniors, whose bodies are already dealing with accumulated oxidative stress and whose digestive systems have become more sensitive, these foods pose a particular risk. The high sodium content in processed meats is also concerning for older adults who may be managing hypertension or heart conditions. Medicare data shows that cardiovascular issues remain the leading cause of hospitalization among beneficiaries, with diet being a significant modifiable risk factor. Instead of processed meats, consider fresh, lean proteins like chicken, turkey, fish, eggs, or plant-based options like beans and lentils. If convenience is important to you, rotisserie chicken or home-roasted turkey breast can be sliced for sandwiches without the harmful additives. I realize we all have our comfort foods and long-time habits that are difficult to change. As we explore these food categories that can accelerate aging, I'm curious, which ones have been regular features in your diet? Have you noticed any connections between certain foods and how you feel physically? Your experiences and insights are valuable, not just to me, but to our entire community of viewers. If you're finding this information helpful, consider subscribing to our channel for more content focused on healthy aging and wellness strategies developed specifically for our stage of life. Your engagement helps me create more relevant videos, targeting the real concerns we face as we navigate our senior years. Now let's talk about another category of foods that can be particularly problematic for seniors: ultra-processed carbohydrates. Ethel, a 75-year-old from Portland, Maine, reached out to me after struggling with what she described as brain fog and afternoon energy crashes. I thought my memory issues were just a normal part of aging, she told me. Ethel's typical lunch consisted of white bread sandwiches, and she often enjoyed crackers and pretzels as snacks. At her granddaughter's suggestion, she replaced these refined carbohydrates with whole grain alternatives and added more protein to her meals. The difference was like night and day, Ethel reported. Within weeks, my thinking felt clearer, and I no longer needed those afternoon naps. What happened with Ethel reflects what research from institutions like the Mayo Clinic has been showing. Refined carbohydrates, which break down quickly in the digestive system, cause rapid spikes and crashes in blood sugar levels. For older adults, these fluctuations can be especially damaging. Our ability to regulate blood sugar naturally diminishes with age, and these constant glucose swings can contribute to insulin resistance, which has been linked to cognitive decline and an increased risk of Alzheimer's disease, sometimes called type 3 diabetes by researchers due to this connection. White bread, white rice, regular pasta, and many breakfast cereals fall into this category of fast-digesting carbohydrates. They've had their fiber and many nutrients removed during processing, leaving mainly starch that converts rapidly to sugar in your bloodstream. Studies from the AARP-funded research initiatives have shown that seniors who consume diets high in refined carbohydrates experience more rapid cognitive decline than those who emphasize whole, fiber-rich foods. The fiber in unprocessed carbohydrates slows digestion, leading to more stable blood sugar levels and better brain function. Making the switch doesn't mean eliminating all bread or pasta. It's about choosing better versions. Opt for 100% whole grain products, brown rice instead of white, and experiment with alternatives like quinoa or barley. Many seniors find that once they adjust to the nuttier, more complex flavors of whole grains, they actually prefer them to the bland, refined versions they'd been consuming. Your brain's health is worth making this adjustment, especially when you consider that maintaining cognitive function is crucial for preserving independence as we age. The fifth category of foods that can accelerate aging is particularly concerning for bone health: excessive sodium. Eugene, a 77-year-old from Salt Lake City, was surprised when his doctor pointed out that his bone density scan showed significant deterioration despite taking calcium supplements. A closer look at Eugene's diet revealed a heavy reliance on canned soups, frozen dinners, and other high-sodium convenience foods. When he committed to reducing these and preparing more fresh foods at home, his next scan 6 months later showed the bone loss had slowed considerably. "I had no idea salt could affect my bones," Eugene shared. The connection between sodium and bone health lies in how our kidneys process calcium. When we consume too much sodium, our kidneys excrete more calcium in our urine as they work to eliminate the excess salt. For seniors who are already at risk for osteoporosis and fractures, this calcium loss is particularly problematic. The HAHI, recommended sodium intake for adults, is less than 2,300 mg per day, with an even lower target of 1,500 mg for those with hypertension or heart conditions, which includes many older Americans. However, the average American consumes over 3,400 mg daily, with processed and restaurant foods accounting for more than 70% of this intake. The most insidious aspect of high-sodium foods is that many don't even taste particularly salty. A single serving of canned soup can contain nearly 1,000 mg of sodium, almost half your daily recommended limit. Bread, breakfast cereals, and even sweet-tasting pastries often contain surprising amounts of sodium as well. For seniors living alone, convenience foods might seem practical, but the long-term health costs can be significant. Consider batch cooking, homemade soups with low-sodium broth and freezing portions for later, or investing in an electric pressure cooker for quick, healthy meals without excessive sodium. The sixth category that's particularly harmful for seniors is artificially sweetened beverages and foods. Gladys, a vibrant 82-year-old from Miami, had been proud of switching from regular soda to diet versions years ago. "I thought I was doing the right thing for my health and my waistline," she explained. Despite this change, Gladys struggled with persistent bloating, digestive issues, and headaches. When her gastroenterologist suggested eliminating artificial sweeteners, Gladys was skeptical but willing to try. "The improvement was dramatic," she reported. "Not only did my digestive symptoms resolve, but I found I had more energy and fewer cravings overall. Although artificial sweeteners were once hailed as the perfect solution for weight management and blood sugar control, research has increasingly raised concerns about their long-term impact on health. Studies published in journals like Stroke and Alzheimer's and Dementia have found correlations between regular consumption of artificially sweetened beverages and increased risk of stroke, dementia, and metabolic disorders. While the exact mechanisms are still being studied, researchers hypothesize that these compounds may alter gut bacteria in ways that promote inflammation and metabolic dysfunction. For seniors whose digestive and neurological systems are already more vulnerable, these effects can be particularly pronounced. Many older adults report improved digestive function, reduced headaches, and better taste perception after eliminating artificial sweeteners from their diet. If you've been consuming diet sodas, sugar-free desserts, or adding artificial sweeteners to your coffee or tea for years, consider gradually reducing your intake. Try naturally flavored sparkling water with a splash of fruit juice, or experiment with herbal teas sweetened with a small amount of honey if needed. Your taste buds will adjust over time, and you may find you prefer the cleaner, more authentic flavors of less sweetened foods and beverages. The seventh and final category of foods that can accelerate aging is one that might surprise you: excessive alcohol consumption. Gerald, a 70-year-old from Charleston, had developed a habit of enjoying 2 or 3 glasses of wine each evening after retirement. "It was my reward for decades of hard work," he said. Gradually, Gerald began noticing sleep disturbances, unexplained anxiety, and memory lapses. At his annual physical, his doctor suggested reducing his alcohol intake. Though reluctant, Gerald cut back to occasional drinks only on weekends. "The improvement in my sleep quality alone was worth it," he told me, "but I also found my thinking became sharper and that nagging anxiety diminished." While moderate alcohol consumption, defined as up to 1 drink daily for women and up to 2 for men, has been associated with certain health benefits in some studies, research specifically focused on older adults often tells a different story. As we age, our bodies metabolize alcohol more slowly, and we become more sensitive to its effects. The National Institute on Alcohol Abuse and Alcoholism has found that even moderate drinking can interfere with many medications commonly prescribed to seniors, potentially reducing their effectiveness or causing dangerous interactions. Beyond medication concerns, alcohol is dehydrating, problematic for seniors who already tend toward dehydration. It disrupts sleep architecture, reducing the quality of rest, even when it might initially help with falling asleep. Perhaps most concerning, research from the Alzheimer's Association has linked regular alcohol consumption with accelerated brain aging and increased risk of dementia. For older adults already experiencing some cognitive changes, reducing alcohol intake can lead to noticeable improvements in memory and thinking skills. I'm not suggesting complete abstinence is necessary for everyone, but being mindful of your consumption is important. Consider designating several alcohol-free days each week, measuring your pours rather than free pouring, and being honest with yourself about how alcohol affects your sleep, mood, and cognitive function. Many seniors find that mocktails or non-alcoholic alternatives can provide the ritual and relaxation they associate with their evening beverage without the negative health impacts. As we've explored these 7 categories of foods that can accelerate aging, you might be wondering, what should I be eating instead? The good news is that a diet focused on whole, minimally processed foods provides all the nutrients your body needs to thrive in your senior years. Colorful vegetables and fruits, which provide antioxidants to fight cellular damage, lean proteins to maintain muscle mass, healthy fats from sources like olive oil, avocados, and fatty fish, and fiber-rich whole grains all contribute to healthy aging. Beatrice, an 86-year-old from Tucson, transformed her diet after a health scare at 75. "I was facing multiple health issues and taking 7 different medications," she recounted. "By eliminating the problematic foods we've discussed and embracing a Mediterranean-style eating pattern, Beatrice experienced a remarkable turnaround. Within a year, my doctor had reduced my medications to just 2. Now at 86, I'm more active and energetic than I was at 70. Stories like Beatrice's aren't miraculous or unusual. They simply reflect the body's amazing capacity to heal when given the proper nutrition. I understand that changing lifelong eating habits isn't easy. You don't have to transform your diet overnight. Start by targeting just one category of problematic foods, perhaps the one you suspect is causing you the most issues. Keep a simple journal noting how you feel physically and mentally as you make changes. Many seniors are surprised to discover connections between specific foods and symptoms they had assumed were just part of normal aging, from joint pain to digestive issues to brain fog. I hope these insights have given you some valuable information to consider as you make choices about your diet. If you found this discussion helpful, please take a moment to like this video and subscribe to our channel for more content focused on vibrant, healthy aging. I'd love to hear about your experiences with eliminating any of these foods from your diet. What changes did you notice? What strategies helped you make successful substitutions? Your comments not only help me create more relevant content, but might also provide exactly the inspiration or insight another viewer needs. Thank you for joining me today in this important conversation about protecting your health and vitality in these precious golden years. Until next time, here's to your health and happiness.